Stephen Colbert accused GOP candidate Tudor Dixon of lying about a Democrat voter who switched sides. But it turns out he got it all wrong. Colbert mocked a story that Dixon told during a debate with Governor Gretchen Whitmer last week. Watch.
Dixon's not the only one worried about this issue. So is this guy she totally made up.
I had a gentleman come up to me just a few nights ago, and he said, I found content in my school library describing how to have sex to my son. I went to the Democrats and I said, I cannot believe that this is in there.
Okay. Fine. That happened.
But the man does exist, and Dixon's story was, in fact, real.
Along with two parents, concerned parents who stood up and speak freely against these sexually explicit books and titles. I'm a father of 5 kids, and I've been living in Durban for the last 19 years. Thank you for being a mother. I am, along with hundreds, maybe thousands of people in Durban who are ready for the red tsunami to come back.
I am real, guy, he said. That's Khalil Othman, 41-year-old Muslim American, father of 5 from Dearborn, Michigan, but dismissed by Stephen Colbert, dismissed by someone with a huge microphone and a huge platform because he felt it was unbelievable, laughed at by an audience because they felt it was comical, but it's not. It is real, and that is real life.
Yeah, because he's concerned about his kids. And he said in multiple stories about this, I didn't really expect to be voting Republican, but here we are because of a school issue. And this is another example of elite sneering at parents and their worries about their own kids and their education. And I thought Tudor Dixon, who's the Republican in this race, who told the accurate story and got lampooned for it, she had a really good response to what happened and the revelation that Colbert, in fact, was wrong, and the big laughing audience here in New York. Here's what she said, quote, "That's where the Democrats are right now. You don't exist. Your stories aren't important." And I think that is tapping into something that is real. We saw it in Virginia and New Jersey a year ago, and I suspect we'll see it again in 5 days.
Gosh, she's absolutely right, Harris. We talk about it in the horrifying context of crime victims and as things, people being dismissed. But as Mr. Othman said, just Google it. Like, how hard is it to exercise some diligence to see if it's true before you mock it in front of your hundreds of thousands of members in your audience?
So this falls on Colbert's team as well. So you don't just have one fact denier. I guess you could call him that. Because he didn't get his facts right. But his team is writing a lot of that material, or at least editing a lot of that material. And nobody thought to Google it. Nobody even thought to see, let's just double check. Look, because these mistakes have happened before. I mean, I have looked at times when President Biden has talked about something. And we'll say, wow, he knew this train conductor? No, he didn't. And his family, you know, the one story he tells with the person on his way to Scranton on the train every year, used to talk to him. We were good friends. And the family of that gentleman, who was deceased by the time that Biden's story would have begun, had it been true, every time he brings it up, it's painful for them. They've spoken about that. So people can get things wrong. They can be fact-checked. Colbert, will he fix this? Because he could make a really humorous point and have the gentleman on. Exactly. I mean, I could write that segment. That'd be funny. That'd be good. But that would then require that man to say why he's voting the way he is. And I don't know if his audience would like that.
Right. And Kaylee, that's the point, too. The amplification, as we always talk about, is so much more diluted with the apology, with the fact-checking, with the correction, than it is with the lie to begin with.
Yeah, you know, lifelong Democrat, father of 5, immigrated from Yemen, and has to say, I am real. Well, let Colbert know it's not just him who is real. There is an entire movement that's very real, and he must not have been paying attention. We called them the forgotten man and woman. There are millions of them, and they changed, quote, flyover country, Michigan, Wisconsin, red, in 2016. They are real. They've exerted their voice. They are not just a person. They are a movement. And we saw it in Loudoun County at the school board meetings. We saw it statewide in Virginia. We almost saw it with Jack Ciattarelli in New Jersey. We saw it in Florida when DeSantis, all of his school board members, save a few, won their elections. We saw it in San Francisco when 3 school board members were recalled. So it's not a person. It's a movement. They're very real. You will hear them loud and clear on Tuesday.
And Lily, what is it about the hubris of the left, the elite hate, the condescension of the progressive left that somehow emboldens them to dismiss a man, to dismiss a story. What a joke. And that is celebrated so often, every day, all day, until maybe November 8th, as Kaylee says, when it's a rude awakening of the movement that is very real.
Yeah, it is ignorant. And I'm not saying that. Again, the quote from Mr. Khalil, who came out and is very real, said it and called it out. It's ignorant, it is sloppy. A lot of people don't realize that the world of entertainment and these stages have a big responsibility. When I'm sitting here with you ladies and gentlemen, there is all this paper you all see around us. That's called homework. That's called due diligence. And it takes time to be accurate. But I guess when you don't agree with the story, the diligence of accuracy and the homework gets toned down or lowered the standard. And it shouldn't be, because that's irresponsible with the millions of people that are probably watching you and the way you are shaping culture with what we say from these screens.
And they would say, hey, look, we're just a comedy show. Fine. But their guests last night on that show were Elizabeth Warren and the former energy secretary. That's a barrel of laughs. No wonder Colbert's winning.
No, but it's very political.
Losing to Greg Gutfeld.
It's very political.
Yeah.
And if you are allergic to the facts about the man who has to say, I am real, from the right, then obviously you're allergic to anything that might be funny if you're having them on. I'm not saying that they don't have the potential to be funny, but come on, a lot of these people are, look at the 5 days away from an election that matters to everybody in this country. And you don't think Senator Elizabeth Warren cares about how the Senate is going to be run? She might not be one of the members of the majority. Look, I know it was likely a mistake. I'm just saying, clean it up, Buttercup.
Right. Well, as you say, Lily, there needs to be responsibility, but I don't see that anytime soon coming out of the mainstream media. Hey, everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.